Thank you for watching the World Community Magazine's Hour of Power Live on Facebook with your host Edward McQueen and April Garner Davis.
Oh, good evening. Good evening. Wow. Good evening, April. First.
Good evening, Brother Edward.
And good evening to our audience. And welcome to the work WC Magazine Live. We're so happy on this Veterans Day to have your company and welcoming, waiting on your comments and chats to engage with us. But without any further ado, though, I just want to give us a shout out and salute to all of our veterans out there. Thank you very much. And April, today, wow, our youth leadership is on fire at our local universities. Okay, and they're going to give us some information on what they are doing, and something's going to really make us exciting to listen to. So, without further ado, so April. I'll turn it over to you if you like.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, first we'd like to remind our viewing audience that you can drop in your comments and questions into the chat live with us tonight. And it's great to engage with our guests because they want to know that you're listening, number one, but also you may have some interesting comments that could actually encourage them and motivate them to speak more about their lived experiences and the things that we're going to be talking about tonight. And also, if you have any questions that you just, want to ask just because you're curious and you want to get to know more about the topic, please feel free to do so. Also, please share this broadcast across social media so that everyone else will know what is going on tonight. As you know, our broadcasts are available for a week after the broadcast on wcmagazine.net. So make sure that you tell everybody about it. And we hope that you enjoy tonight's broadcast. So to start, of course, we are saying Happy Veterans Day to all of our military personnel who have served in the military and also honoring the fallen who have served. We appreciate so much your service, courage, and bravery as you defend our country and even countries abroad in the name of freedom. And tonight we actually have two wonderful guests with us who are going to speak about their experiences as military veterans. One of them is accompanied by his beautiful daughter, Cassandra Chestnut Campbell, who recently wrote a book about his life experience, and it's called A Bright Side, a recollection of experiences that shaped the life of Reverend Lonnie Bennett Chestnut Sr. And I'm particularly tickled to have them on the show tonight because they are family. And so it's wonderful. The book was a wonderful read. It was a great dive into history and local history, I should say, Horry County, because of the work and the connection that Uncle Lonnie has to Horry County, especially the school system. And so we're going to invite them to come on in just a moment. And also we have Brenda Bankhead who is joining us. So it's great also to hear from a female who served in the military, who is now a veteran. And so we have a little bit of everything for everybody tonight. After we've heard from our military veterans, we're then going to have a chat with two student groups from two different colleges. And these are Black leadership groups, one from the East Carolina University, NAACP, and the other is the president of the Black Student Association at Coastal Carolina University. Can't wait to dig into some of the topics that we're going to talk about.
We got a lot tonight.
Yeah, with these students. So we're just really excited, and I hope you all are equally as excited. So let's go ahead and bring on Reverend Lonnie B. Chestnut Sr. and Cassandra, and also Brenda Bankhead. How are you all doing tonight?
Miss Bankhead.
Let's make sure we can hear her. Miss Bankhead, can you say something, please? You're on mute right now. You're muted. Unmute yourself.
What is want me to say something?
No, Brenda. She's talking to Brenda.
Yeah, I think she has let herself out, unfortunately. Maybe she'll pop back in. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and speak with Uncle Lonnie and Cassandra. And how are you all doing tonight?
We're doing great. Hope you all are.
Great.
All
yes,
right.
we are. Yes. So at the as we were prepping for the show and getting ready to bring you all on, both of you had the opportunity to meet our young Black leaders who are going to be featured in just a moment. And Sandra was explaining to the NAACP at ECU her connection to the area. And Uncle Lonnie was sharing a little bit about his military service and his, I don't know how he's only 26 years old, but we're going to talk about that in just a moment. Let's see if we can have Miss Brenda come back on. Miss Brenda, can you hear us? It says you're muted.
She says she can hear us, but we can't hear her. So,
but she needs to unmute her mic. She has a microphone muted. And let me see if I can help you with that on this end. I can't because it says that your microphone isn't connected. You may need to go back out and try to reconnect to the platform. So yes. All right. So anyway, let's get started with Reverend Chestnut and Sandra. Why don't you start with just telling us a little bit about yourself?
Tell them a little bit about yourself.
My name is Lonnie B. Chestnut, and you're turning me loose like that. I might take up the whole period.
That's okay. We have time.
You better point out some questions you want to ask me, and let me answer that way because I have a long story. And
that's all right. Yeah.
Remember, it's hard for a person to stop because I have a lot to say.
Yes, sir.
I didn't say it all in the publication we'll talk about later.
Right.
I have a lot more. I have edition number 2 coming up pretty soon. I hope. but anyway, my name is Lonnie Chestnut. I went in service in 1946, and I served in Guam, and I served all over the United States in Louisiana, Texas. Served and had many jobs. You wouldn't believe it, but I operated. I don't know how to give me these jobs, but I operated 2 beer gardens. I operated a beer garden club in Louisiana. I operated beer gardens in Guam, Harmon Field. I was a petroleum specialist. I was a drill instructor, supply and receiver clerk. I did so many things, and I even carried about 40 troops from Illinois to Louisiana. I was responsible for their boarding, their lodging, everything. I was in charge of it. And when I got there, they said, "What's your rank?" I said, "I was a technical sergeant." And they said, and I didn't have any proof of it, so I kept my rank that I had. But I did a lot of jobs in the service, and I loved it. And I want to thank the Lord for taking care of me to go overseas in many places. And I was achieved so many things through the military. As a matter of fact, I believe I was a recruiter at Chestnut High School. I tried to get all the young men single to go in the military. So I better stop right there because I could go on and on and on. And these are true facts of mine. Sister Bankhead, most of the people we had celebrated at Chesterfield Saturday night. The place was packed night.
Yeah.
And I taught about all those students in that place. And so the Lord has blessed me to live a long time. Most of my colleagues are gone, but I'm still here. So my slogan is this: if anything get hold of me, you got to catch me. Anything get hold of me, got to catch me because I'm going to be busy.
I know that's right.
Still preaching over 60 years and still got appointments. Thank you. I'll be still sitting here. If you have any other questions, let me know.
Well, I do. I have some other questions. I'm sure Brother Edward does as well. and I can't help but call you Uncle Lonnie because your family, what was it like as a Black man serving in the military during that day and time? Because I imagine that there was probably a lot of, discrimination that was going on in the military and inequities, things that were just not, that didn't present themselves as like an easy pathway for any person of color in the military. So talk a little bit about that.
Yes. We were segregated when I was in there. We were segregated, but I got along fine. I got along fine with the soldiers, and I worked, like I said, in many capacities, and I just did what I was asked to do, hired to do. I was a special vehicle operator. I was a motor pool operator. I was a dispatcher. Also, I was in so many jobs. In fact, I did so many jobs until I should be a lieutenant general right now. I got not too much credit for my service because of my education. Because when I first went in, I had just finished sixth grade of school, and I wanted to be a pilot. I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be a lawyer. And when I came back and got to college, I was certified in 12 areas. 12 areas of education. I'm certified because I started in law school. Law school closed up. I started in medical school. I didn't have enough time, didn't have enough money, because you see, old as I am, I came to what you call, you might say, the hard times.
Hoover times.
And jobs and everything. If I talk with you too much, I could tell you some things happened to me. You might start crying. I mean, serious, that's how bad it was. 1929, 30, don't remember my mother, never lived in a home with a mama and a daddy. And I just used other people for advice. And that's how I more or less came to do as much as I've tried to do it. I served as moderator of Kings and Lakers Association. I served as president of the Case Lake Sunday School Convention. I've been about all over the United States, and I've had experiences that I don't have time to tell you. Mm-hmm. But we're doing. But I was telling this to young people right fast. The best way to grow forward, don't be angry. I'm not angry with anybody. I love everybody. Very seldom you make me upset. Very seldom. Anger and hate and jealousy will kill you. And that's one reason, because I read it in the news just last night, that 65, most of our men are dying before they are 65 years old. Most of them are gone before they're 65. And the Bible says, before we leave here, we're going to end up, every woman will come to a place she'll never want to receive and say, this is my man. Because every woman going to have to take on 7 men in order to make it. Because most of our men are gone. And I could talk with men on some things. I would like to talk with them privately, because I studied some medicine. I studied some things that I practiced in my life, and that's what I want to say the need for the cause and the longevity. That's what I have an agenda for that. I have an agenda for that, and so the Lord has helped me to tell the young men about it, and I believe things will much be better. God bless you. I'll be still sitting here. If you have any questions, don't hesitate.
Well, that's I know. I'm confident that you'll be still sitting there. So, Reverend Chestnut, it just gives me a great pleasure to know that I'm able to talk to a World War II veteran and somebody like yourself. Of course, you and I talk often with Cassandra. So what I want to say is that you've been my role model for a long time. Okay. And the older you get, the more that's what I want to be. I want to reach that and talk just like you. Okay. I want to be able to talk just like you and do some of the things. So that's what I wanted to say about that. And we can a little later about your book with Cassandra, who's she doesn't know it yet, but she's a professional author. She she can write.
That's right.
Look, yeah, she can write, man. Now you just said that you'd be talking a long time. Well, she's put that all out in a book, and that's why she has a second book coming out after that. Okay, she's gonna put everything, put it all out there in that book. Is that correct, Cassandra?
No, sir. Not right. I'm not thinking that way today.
You're not thinking that way today. But well, I've read the book, and so has Joella, and we just think that that is some context that well put together, professionally put together, and for this to be your first book, I mean, you're saying something. Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about why you started it and who influenced you and who kept pushing you to do it?
You did, and I'm not joking. You actually encouraged me. I tried to get you to do it for me, but you told me no. And I think
I didn't come out flat out and say no. I just thought it should.
You started it.
You started it, sir. But I'm glad that we were able to do it. It took me 3 years because we were going through some tough times. We lost my mom, who was my shero, and and also my daddy had some health problems, and then and looking out for my sister and everybody that I can help. It was a task, but God was with us all the way. I had encouragement from family and friends and prayers, and we got through it. And I'm hoping it to be a blessing to everyone. And we are hoping that people will buy it and also buy it as gifts to others that they think could benefit from it. And I think everybody can benefit from it.
Yeah. And
I think
I'm sure they can.
Thank you.
I'm sure. Hey, you're certainly welcome. And it just kind of, everyone can imagine that he could, Reverend Chestnut, I mean, it is as if you just sat there in front of her and just told her everything at one time, man. I'm saying it seems that way, but I know it had to be done over a length of time. But all that stuff, and
we did
the other things that I've read about you, not in there. That's why I'm saying there's going to be a second edition. And there should be. Okay. So I'm not trying to encourage you 100%, but I just want to throw that out there, because I believe that this is going to be a success. I think the sales of this book is going to be a success.
Thank you. Well, thank you all for giving us the opportunity to share.
Well, absolutely.
Thank you very, very much.
Yeah, absolutely. And
I didn't get this point. I would have mentioned longevity comes through the idea of obedience, respect elderly.
Absolutely.
My things that you'll be surprised, but I've had men and women crying when they see me doing certain things, and living certain lifestyles, and that's why help guided me, because I don't remember my mother. I never lived in a home with a mom and a daddy. I always lived around alcohol, beverage, drinking liquor, but somehow I'd get me a Coca-Cola and never indulge with my friends. And all my friends that I grew up with in high school, Army, most, and even in Conway, Horry County, a lot of my students are gone because of that fast style in the living. Get 8 hours of rest, and as I said, don't let anybody upset you. Do what the Lord tells you to do, and guide yourself and watch yourself, and love everybody. I love everybody. I love Trump. I love every person because God is in charge and He will
Absolutely.
take care.
Absolutely.
He will move all the stumbling blocks. He will fight your battles. I'm a proof of that. Better stop before I take a text now. Amen. I better stop before I start. I take a text and I start preaching. All right.
I'm going to.
I've preached the funerals for frogs. I've preached the funeral for snakes. Anything I kill, I preach for it. Take care. God bless you. I'll still be here to have a question.
Well, we're certainly glad. You're not just probably my role model, but there's a lot of people out there probably looking at this and knowing what you just said, having said what you said, you've got to be established as a role model for them. Everybody wants to engage in longevity, but the information in the book, Cassandra, you think that the reader could? I know. Well, first of all, I saw a lot of photos in there. I mean, these were authentic photos, and it is amazing how those chronologically those photos go back. Okay, and it shows that from his youth. That's a testament right there. Okay, and how you compiled it. Do you? I know I asked you about the second edition, but I was, I'm not. You don't have to, but I wish you would. But anyway, give us a little bit more information about the contents of the book in terms of your efforts of getting it published and so forth. Were there any challenges?
Yes, sir. It was challenging because of fear. I never did it before, and I knew that I needed help. And I like to, thank my dad for having the patience, because I've recorded him while he was waiting for a doctor to come in to examine him. We talked riding in the car. We talked in the house, anywhere that we had a moment. He would let me ask him questions. Sometimes I would ask him again more than one time to make sure I'm getting it right. So all the information came from his memory. And,
right.
And I like to give my mom props for the pictures, because she was a collector of pictures. So the pictures that you see, my mom had them all in photo albums, and some of the pictures had dates on it and names on it. My mom did that when she was in good health. And so, and then I had people like Kendall Brown, neighbor, and he helped me in getting the photos and everything sent back to the publishing company. And we're praying right now for his mom, who's not feeling her best. But a lot of people helped me. And like I said, you and your wife encouraged me a lot too. And also Reverend P and Reverend Covia Stanley, those are some people that always would ask me how am I doing with the book. So it took a lot of prayer and encouragement. Some days were easier than others, but we got through it. And on August 25th this year, the book was complete, and then it went full blast.
Like
I said.
Okay, one of the things that people don't know is that he taught at Chestnut High School. Consolidated High School. Okay. I would ask him to tell us a little bit about that, but you narrated a little bit in the book. Could you talk about that just briefly? Because a lot of people don't know that he taught there. But we were at the veteran salute at Chesterfield Missionary Baptist Church. I think it was Saturday, I believe. And had a lot of his students where that he's taught at Chestnut, and that was amazing.
Yes, sir. Well, Miss Brenda, who organized the event, and I agree totally with you. That was amazing. It was amazing, and I went in there, and everybody was happy. It was just, It was a beautiful event. And my daddy first, when he got out of the military, he went from 1956 to 60. He went to South Carolina State College, is what was called then now South Carolina State University. he graduated the year I was born. He the first teaching job he had was at Branchville. What's the name of the school there?
Lockett High School.
And he taught there a year. And then my mom was homesick, and she really wanted to come back to Horry County. So they came back to Horry County, and his first job was at Chestnut Consolidated High School. Mr. Henry, who's also a Conway native, and he's deceased now, but he was the principal. And Daddy taught there until he things were beginning to change with integration and everything. And so he taught 1 year at Warren P. High School. And then from when schools integrated in 1970, he taught from 1970 to 1990 at North Myrtle Beach High School.
Wow. Yeah. So you mentioned Ms. Bankhead. We can't have a little difficulty getting her on, but she's supposed to been here with us today. But I got to salute her.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I mean, she did a fantastic job in coordinating along with the rest of the members at the Chesterfield Missionary Baptist Church. She has, yes, sir.
Yeah, I was to say at Chestnut High, all those students you saw Saturday night, most of those people are my relatives, and it's my home, and I taught most every one of them. And in that church, as a matter of fact, St. Paul AME, I taught them there. Poplar Church, AME Church. I taught there. All those Mount Carmel #2 in Brooksville,
St.
Joseph,
Mount Pleasant,
Union, all those people there.
Everybody.
But I walk on the campus about like a rock star. Everybody wants to talk. If they wear me out when I go down there, because everybody want my attention, and that's what I gave them when I was in the job. I had time for all the students. And I had some rough time now. I had some names called. I recall some things, but guess the Lord gave me something to answer them by. And I wish I had time to tell you some of the answers I gave them. I fixed them up pretty good. I had no more questions, no more trouble. And they were buying my lunches and everything. I didn't have to pay for my lunch. But because I put it on education-wise. No profanity, no vulgarity. I just use the King's language and tear you apart. I'm not bragging; it's just facts. I'll put it on you.
You can put it. You put it in the next book. Put it in the next edition. Next issue. That should be a little easier. But it's such a joy to hear, just knowing that we're able to talk to you. And I want to tell my grands, that I was able to talk to somebody like you, to me as my role model on what you've done with the community and your past, your bio. I mean, it's amazing. I'm just glad I'm really blessed to know that I'm able to see that. Okay, see somebody.
Yeah, I taught Wallace Evans, all of his brothers, all those people you saw there. I taught them. I played with Elmo, Brenda, working with you there. That's my family. We all worked together, played together, grew up together, and down there.
Her dad. You played with her dad.
Yes, Daddy, Elmo. All those people, my family, and Jake Chestnut was the father of all of us. Jake Chestnut, the school was named in honor of a cousin of ours. All those Livingstons, Marines, Chestnuts, Stanleys, Livingstons, Vaults, Bellamys, Gores, all of them. And I better stop. I told you I run it out.
Look,
I know them all. I know all those people. I have a lot of nieces and nephews and all down there now.
You have some commenters who just came up and said that we need you in the classroom right now. That's what one of our commenters just said.
I thought I'm thinking about it.
Are you thinking about it? Okay.
I substituted 12 years after I retired. I substituted 12 years at Ada High, Carolina Forest, Conway High, Whittier Middle School, Ada, and I got laughed at because of the amount of money I was making for it. So you say I'll pay you that amount of money. But
all right.
Anyway, I enjoy it. I enjoy young people. I love them.
We're fortunate. We're very fortunate. I'm sure April thinks the same way. That we're fortunate just to have you on that. Okay. April, you said you had a photo of Reverend Chestnut. Did you say that?
I do.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
1953. Wow.
Uh-oh. World War II. Uh-oh.
Look at that photo. That's incredible.
1953.
Incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, that was me. I was in Camping, Virginia.
You remember all that stuff too.
Wichita Falls, Texas, Dallas, Texas, Fort Worth, Texas, San Antonio, Brooke Army Hospital, Swannanoa, you name it. And the doctors gave me up to 2 or 3 times, but the Lord said no.
All right.
Mm-hmm. I'm proof of it.
All right. Okay. Well, look, we can't. I hate to say we'll see you at the next time, but
why do you hate to say that? We will.
Yeah. I mean, I'm saying hate to say it because I don't want them to leave, but.
Just a history lesson.
Yeah, okay, that's valuable. Okay, okay. And so, Sandra, you have the last words you want to say before we make a transition here to our next guest?
Yes, sir. I just want to thank you all for thinking that much of Daddy and me and letting us get on. I want to share that the name of the book that was written about Daddy is called A Bright Side. Right. I think April has a copy she can show. Yeah. And also you can order it off iUniverse. That's lowercase I, capital U, NIVERSE.com. And it's the prices and everything is on the website, but I would like to encourage you all to get a copy and get copies to share with others for gifts. And I would like for it even to be in the school system, but we've not had enough time yet to talk with the superintendent. But I would love for all Horry County schools, and it really would bless me. Pitt County schools too could, since I'm a retired Pitt County school employee, they have it in the school systems so that children can learn that even though they don't have a traditional household, they can still be successful.
Absolutely. That's one book I bet they won't censor like they do a lot of them. I don't think so. But anyway,
I hope not.
All right. So listen. God bless all of you, and good luck on more sales of the book. It continues to be successful as far as what I've seen right now. So
thank you so much.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you both, and have a wonderful evening.
We'll be talking.
Same to you all. All right. Love you all.
Love you too, brother. Love you too, brother.
All right. Well, that was, I tell you, it's always wonderful to hear Uncle Lonnie, Reverend Lonnie, whatever you want to call him, speak, because he is a walking time capsule of historical events, and 96 years old. And I know that Sandra's written a lot down. I hope she's recorded a lot too. That voice is very, very powerful and it's priceless. So speaking of powerful and priceless voices, Brother Edward, we are featuring tonight student leadership groups from 2 universities. It's interesting. We have kind of crossed the lines here, North and South Carolina representing. We actually have our NAACP from ECU. How are you all doing this evening? All right, waving to everybody. And,
they're excited too, man.
Right. Yes, they are excited, and we're excited.
Yeah, we are too. We are too.
Yeah, and then we also have Rich Sturkey from the Black Student Association at Coastal Carolina University. How are you, Rich?
Good. How y'all doing?
All right. So we're going to talk now. I'm actually going to actually prepare a little something for y'all to. There we go. Black student leadership and the power of community on campus, and that's what we're talking about tonight with these young leaders. Whenever young people are embarking upon the college experience, it's always good and enriching to have community on campus, meaning you're able to connect with your peers and network, support one another, build bonds. And it comes in a variety of different ways. It comes through your sororities and fraternities and from student organizations such as your NAACP, your Black Student Association, and any other type of organizations that you feel a kindred spirit and you feel drawn towards. And so it's important now more than ever to make sure that these types of opportunities exist on our college campuses, because there's so many different challenges that our students are facing. And we're going to talk about a few of those things tonight. And now is the time for our listening audience to ask the questions that you really want to ask young people in this generation about how to connect and engage with them, because these folks are definitely our future, highly intelligent and intellectual. And of course, we know there's a difference between the two. And they are willing and motivated to do the things that need to be done to advocate for their communities. And so we're fortunate tonight to have an entire group, the NAACP of East Carolina University, and then the president of the Black Student Association, Rich Sturkey, here with us tonight. So before we get started with some of the talking points, I'm going to start with you, Rich, and just ask you to introduce yourself and explain a little bit about what the Black Student Association is all about.
All right. How y'all doing? My name is Rich Sturkey. I'm originally from Spartanburg, South Carolina. I go to Coastal Carolina. I'm a junior, majoring in elementary education with a minor in Spanish. Pretty much Black Student Association is an organization we started a year ago to pretty much build the Black community on campus, as well as providing more of a community aspects in rooms and trying to push more Black faces in leadership roles and positions that you don't usually see on campus.
Awesome. And so, Rich, of course, I have encouraged you to engage in the conversation that we're going to have with the NAACP at ECU. And so now we are going to introduce, I'm going to call on Syasia Green. Syasia, how are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
All right. Syasia is the co-vice president of the NAACP. Her fellow leaders include Colden Waters, who is president, Siobhan Monroe, who is also a co-VP, Chris Lovick, who is secretary, Davisha Sutton, treasurer, Dynasty Johnson, who is the event coordinator, and Antoine Smith, our social media coordinator. But like I said, we have the entire club in the house tonight, and this is great. So Syasia, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your connection to Horry County, and also a little bit about the NAACP branch at ECU.
So as you said, I am co-vice president. I've been a member with NAACP since for about 2 years now. And because of how can I put it? Because of the opportunities and the friendships that they have given me, as well as just, being a Black student here at a PWI, just wanted to, return the favor of being on e-board. And with my connection, Horry County is my hometown, and I'm pretty sure my grandparents are watching me. Hi, Diana. Hi, Christopher. Those are my grandparents, and yeah, I'm from Conway, South Carolina.
All right, and that's Diane and Christopher Bellamy out of Bucksport, my classmates. And yes, it is a pleasure to have you here along with the rest of the members of the NAACP. So, and before, Syasia, what are you majoring in?
Oh, nursing, as well as mathematics and education. Or education.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Okay. All right. Yeah, this is incredible. So let's start start with the importance of student organizations, and either of you can chime in. Anyone from your team, Asia, as we're talking about this. Your first day on campus, first weeks, first months, and you are trying to figure out, how to fit in. You're trying to find your way aside from just the academics. Why were you drawn to student organizations on your campus, and particularly the ones that you are a member of now? So why don't we start with Rich?
All right, wait, hold on. Just so I get an answer around the head. You want me to answer why I joined the organization that I'm part of?
Mm-hmm. And why do you think it's important?
Okay. The reason why I joined the organization that I'm a part of is more on the community aspect and trying to build closer to become a better man, as well as I think it's very important for everyone to get active, because when you tend to not have that family aspect on campus, you tend to kind of drop out and fail, versus when you have a community and a support system. So I strongly believe in joining said organizations.
Okay, awesome. And Saeja, or anyone there in the room, talk a little bit about, why you were drawn to become a member of your campus's NAACP, and why is it important to be involved in student organizations?
Well, I can answer this on a personal level. I already knew, ECU was always my first choice, and I knew it was a predominantly white institute, sorry. So we have, what's it called? It's like we have orientation. And so it's basically just a walkthrough of what campus is like, and as well as they had a whole bunch of clubs and orgs all throughout campuses. And NAACP just caught my eye, and I already knew since I was going to PWI, I wanted to find, friends who were basically, people of color at least. So, they're having they have the same, culture experience, as well as struggles as what I'm going through throughout my college years. So NAACP definitely caught my eye. Does anyone else want?
I would say it's important to have student organizations and be a part of it, because it also builds connections that can help you into your professional life. And many students tend to not try to do student organizations, but I think it's very important, because people here, even though we're not all in the same professional career path, there's still connections that we probably can still use later on down the line. Mm-hmm. And then also, as he said, with family, being away from family, it's good to find a sense of family away from family. So that's one reason why I did it, and why I think it's important as well.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else want to share? You're welcome. Yeah. I'm sure that everyone is ditto. That's why we joined. Now, since you all have been on your campuses and within your campus environments, a lot of stuff has happened just in the past year or two in terms of changes to institutional policies and curriculums and offerings, especially when it comes down to things that are related to DEI and history. And so one of the things that was on the list to talk about tonight is how DEI has impacted your campus experience, or the removal of, certain DEI policies and, access on campus. So let's talk a little bit about that first. Can you feel the immediate impact of anything that was centered around DEI being removed from your campuses?
I can. So as someone who lives in the dorms normally did certain events for certain holidays. And I remember back in the spring when everything started happening with DEI, they took away the event that they did for Black History Month. It didn't happen. No one talked about it. We didn't get any emails about it, or any flyers came out for the dorms. So I remember seeing that and was oh, they're really out here taking stuff away and not wanting to do certain things, even down to, I know that certain centers on campus can't even do certain things anymore because of DEI. They're not allowed to. And especially engaging with students with certain things they can't do anymore. So I've seen that shift, and I've seen the shift in classes. They took away African American studies, which is important, and things like that. So there's a lot that I've seen happen on campus from the whole change in DEI.
Mm-hmm. Rich, what about you?
Very similar. Kind of more of a heartstrain on us, like as a club, because back before DEI, we had buildings that were made for minorities, like the IS office, which was the Intercultural Student Center. Pretty much just the building where people could come and kind of meet minorities and it was a safe space. But due to DEI, they kind of took that away from us and then kind of threw us out there and said, kind of just go with it. As well as we had a ceremony. I mean, we still do have a ceremony, but it was more different, which was donning of the kente. I don't know if ECU does that same thing, but pretty much is a ceremony where it kind of congratulates African Americans, Black students for kind of making it across the finish line and graduating. And due to DEI, they kind of took that away to where now we have to do it on our own versus it being a.
Can't hear you, Rich.
Oh.
Go ahead. For some
Y'all can hear me now?
Yeah, you said we took it away. We're having to do it on our own was the last thing we heard.
Okay. But it kind of took it away and made it more difficult for us to find the resources to keep that going for donning of the kente.
Mm-hmm. And so even with, DEI adjustments on your campus, just basically removal of certain traditions, practices, or offerings, are you finding any support in that space as a student of color? Or has it just all gone away altogether?
I can speak.
Yes, you can. Mm-hmm.
I feel like due to it, we've gotten way more support from faculty and staff than ever. It's been more of an outcalling for people trying to figure out how we can get those resources, as well as trying to provide more support. I remember I had a conversation last month with professors, and they were pretty much asking how can they support students in this time of need, as well as like provide more sense of comfort, as well as kind of figure out what's been going on and what they could do to better that, with some like studies being taken away, environments being taken away, and pretty much how they can really support us as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, Rich, do you? It's interesting when you first came on. You said Spanish was a minor.
Yes, sir.
I think that's great, man. I really do. We're going to need that. Okay, and I guess you were looking at. You envisioned that yourself, I guess, before started making that a minor. But yeah, the population. I mean, in spite of all the things that are happening today, the Spanish is the second language that everybody is communicating with, apparently. So I applaud you for that. And is it coming along well? Do you think you find it hard, or?
I mean, it's pretty hard, but I'm trying to get to that point where I can be fluent. I'm decent, but it comes with learning a new language.
Yeah, I guess you guys be around some people who are of that culture. That makes it a whole lot easier, and who's willing to be patient with you and so forth. So, but anyway, I applaud you for that and your efforts. So I want to defer to Miss Saasia. Glad to know you from Conway. Glad to know you from Conway. So I applaud you for that too. So look, and nursing is one of the fields that it seems like there's a void there with us. I don't know what's going on, but I noticed in some of the hospitals, especially April, when we were having our touring with our summer youth, and we took them to different hospitals and different medical institutions. I was not really impressed with the lack of nurses of color there in most of those places. I don't know. I'm not putting the blame on anybody, but I think something has to be done, and we should put a lot of focus on that in our next media efforts and so forth. So I do applaud you, young lady, for that, and keep up the good work. And I believe your minor was in math education. Was that true?
Yes, sir. Mathematics or education and mathematics. Yes, sir.
Look, you put those two together, you got a atomic bomb there. Really? Yeah, yeah. Okay. So, okay.
All right, so let's get back into the conversation about some of the things that you all are experiencing on campus and some of the issues, the societal issues that surround some of the movements that you all have implemented as a part of your advocacy for social justice. From ECU, you mentioned to us, or you shared with us that there is an increase, or that there's an apparent there are apparent cases of sexual assaults on campus. How has that impacted your feeling of safety on your campus, and how are your campuses respectively dealing with safety issues when it comes down to student life? So, Saisha, maybe someone from ECU, you or someone can chime in on that.
For me, and this might sound a little like insensitive to say, but I don't stay on campus, so I do feel like well, I guess I would say like a little bit safer, but I still do, I don't know how to really word it. I still like get scared because even though most of the sexual assaults are happening on campus, yes, I do stay off campus, but still it can happen anytime, anywhere. But I do, and I have lots of friends who stay on campus, so that definitely makes it scary, especially knowing weekends, going out, going back home late at night in the library, or just like in general, and just like, you have a friend that's like, especially a girl, you have a girl walking by herself on campus, not knowing what's going to happen to her. But that's from my perspective. But we have a lot of people here that stay on campus, so I'm pretty sure someone can say.
Yeah, anyone can chime in.
Janaya, talk to the camera. Can they see me?
Can you guys see?
We can hear you. We can hear you. It's okay. We can't really see everyone, but we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm a freshman, so it's like my first year on campus, and I can say by the stuff that I done seen so far, it can be kind of like hard staying on campus to where the point where you don't know like if any of that stuff will happen to you or not. But mainly me and my friends who do stay on campus, we've been trying to keep ourselves safe by making sure like we lock our doors at nighttime because people do be wandering around the campus. So we don't make sure that we're safe. So I don't know. I try to, and then at nighttime we try to walk together to make sure that no one's going home by herself. And if they do, have somebody walking with them, so like nothing will happen to them. But so far, we've been keeping ourselves safe on campus. So
Okay. All right. Rich, do you know of or perceive that there are any issues with campus safety? And if so, I'm going to throw this back to both groups. How are you using your groups to address some of the safety issues?
From a safety aspect, our safety on campus is actually very good. There hasn't been any low rates or any high rates of anything going bad. The only issue that is safety is when it comes to protest or when we have those conversations that it does get a little kind of risky, but besides that's been pretty strong.
Okay, all right. So I imagine that, along with, like the DEI issues or any type of, on-campus safety issues, you're advocating for a lot of different things. I mean, in our lineup for tonight, we were going to talk about everything from, how you all can vote in local elections or just, general elections in general to, some of the things that you've done recently in terms of unity marches and also speaking out against instances such as the lynching at Delta State University. So let's kind of get into like your unity marches, your protests, since you brought that up as a good segue. What are some of the things that you all have found yourself fighting for or even fighting against as a part of your, campus community organizations?
Here at ECU with the Unity March, we find ourselves fighting against, I would say, exposure. Because, like, even though it does happen, a lot of, like, the big leagues at ECU, so, like, the chancellor and stuff like that, they don't tend to take that stuff up. We had a very big incident last semester where the girl literally went to the dean of students and had to bring it to their attention. So that's the things that we're combating with the Unity March.
And what about you, Rich, at ECU? Is there anything that you all have had to protest or fight against or fight for recently?
Our biggest thing that we've been fighting for is communication within campus. There's been a big lack of communication, taking away things from us, and we're trying to get that back and pretty much tell the school that, like, we're paying tuition here, so we should be kind of be the first in line to hear things rather than finding out through news outlets as well as other sources rather than straight from them. So we've been mostly doing inner protests, like going to town halls and kind of speaking up when they don't expect us not to go. Because our campus has a tendency to have these town halls during peak hours of classes and expect us not to show up. But we try to kind of not sneak in, but really force our way in those doors and pretty much have our way through.
Okay, all right. ECU actually submitted as a talking point the lynching at Delta State University. And can you all talk about how that actually impacted your campus, or at least students on your campus, and why that was something that you wanted to focus on, considering that the lynching happened on Delta State's campus and not necessarily it didn't happen on your campus. But for anyone who doesn't know about that particular lynching, in September of this year, a Black student by the name of Trey Reed was found hanging from a tree at Delta State University. And basically, autopsy, they ruled it as a suicide by hanging, but there's lots of questions that are surrounding the findings, and also civil rights attorney Ben Crump is representing the family. So at ECU, this was something that you all decided that you wanted to take up as a cause. And tell us why. Tell us why it was important for you.
For me, and I believe my org, why it was important was because, one, that could happen. It seems like now that that's something that's trying to reoccur, and that means that that's something that can happen to us. And myself, I sensed a little bit of fear amongst students, because it was like, wow, we're going back to this now. This is something that's starting to become our normal, and it should be our normal. And for me, I was very frustrated with all of the details behind it, because it was things of parents were told this, and then, but this is what happened, and parents not getting the full information of what happened to their loved one. And it frustrated me, because I'm like, this shouldn't be something where we're not telling the full story of what happened. Like, it should be this is what happened, this is how it happened, not a wraparound of what happened because a young man's life was taken that should not have been taken. Mm-hmm. And to rule it finally at the end of suicide was just weird to me, because there were so many speculations of how the family first heard that he was in his dorm, but he was found hanging. So it's like, that doesn't make sense. And then people say he looked like he's been beaten up. So someone who committed suicide, why does it look like they've been beaten up? That doesn't make sense. And it doesn't align with what everyone else is saying that it aligns with. So I know that a lot of students were just frustrated of like, hold on, that's not making sense. And I remember us talking about it within our org, because we talk about current events all the time. And we were all just saying, like, that does not add up. That doesn't make sense. Why is they saying this and it's not that? Mm-hmm. And it's just frustrating, because I feel like as Black people, this is not something that we should have to go back to. This is not something that should have to be reoccurring in this next generation. Like, I feel very sad and empathetic for the generation that had to go through this. But now for it to seem like it's going to come back is even more heartbreaking, because it should not be back.
Mm-hmm. So it's interesting, as you talk about how it's kind of, coming full circle. There are lots of things that are happening right now in our country that appear to be full circle moments, or, things that are trying to, people are trying to resurrect that were not in favor of people of color. And so as you all think about, and hopefully you are staying on top of current events, things that are happening in terms of congressional movements in Washington, presidential movements, and even from a local standpoint, what's happening in your local communities, because the truth of the matter is you may return to your local communities as professionals, or you may stay where you are and work and live and raise families. So you need to stay aware of all the things that are going on, at least from the standpoint of understanding how it's going to impact you in the future. As you think about these things, how does it make you feel when you hear some of the major headlines and of things that are going on in terms of, all of the things that are politically charged? And what have your organizations decided to do in order to raise your voices on campus, on your campuses, in terms of advocacy for those who appear to be marginalized or who are, experiencing injustices? What have you all decided to do as young people to raise your voices?
And this is where we go back to our Unity March, which we do have it. We have our Unity March every year, but this year it was just a lot more personal, with not only with the sexual assaults going on campus, but with the lynching at Delta State. So that's just basically what we've been doing, advocating as well. And we have many other orgs here at ECU they have done marches. They have done many other things, for like advocacy for our campus.
Rich, do you have anything to add?
I know at CCU we pretty much are trying to emphasize again getting our faces in those areas where we're not more seen, as well as telling our general body that to voice their opinions, like voice how they feel, and not be complacent where they're at now, or nothing's going to get changed at all. So we really try to push that and beat it in as well.
Mm-hmm. I think it's an interesting time too to brush up on your civics and to really understand, historical events. And as you hear about certain things that are being challenged in the courts, especially the Supreme Court and in other areas, so that you will know how these things will also impact your ability to advocate for people of color and, really on the large scale, just being able to deal with all of the things that are going on is all about educating yourselves too on some of the implications of these things. And that kind of goes into one of the last points that we're going to talk about tonight before I get into some of the questions that were posted. Voting. Have you all had any concerted efforts to get students registered to vote and to make sure that they're, able to vote, showing up at the polls so that they understand what they're voting for? Have your organizations done that in terms of your leadership?
Oh, yes. I know for Portia Willis, we've had, she was another org here at ECU, NCW. We had her come in as a spokesperson. We've had her come in as a spokesperson again for another org for CSO? ASO. African Student, ASO, African Student Org, and BEC, which is basically just all the Black orgs in general, just coming in, not only just talking to us about, being, people of color at PWI, but also as well, is why it's important for us to vote and make sure, that our voter registration is up to date, make sure we go into the early voting. And actually, right down the hall, that's where we had our, what can I say? I don't know how can I word it. Our location to vote last week. So we've been I feel like we have been pretty much advocates for voting on campus.
Yeah. Rich, anything at CCU that's going on in that space?
Oh yeah. We do an annual basketball tournament with Black Voters Matter. I don't know if you've heard of that program, but we emphasize voting every time pretty much. During Welcome Week, we have a table where we set up if people are interested in BSA. While they're signing up to join and become members, that we also make them register, as well as we tell them information of how to register, as well as if they aren't in state, how to do absentee voting. So we really we pride ourselves on pushing that voter registration and getting people vote, especially in the Black community, because it isn't that much prevalent where people vote. So we're really trying to break that stigma, especially on coastal and campuses, and trying to figure out how we can get more students to join. I know last semester when we did our tournament, we had a lot of people vote, it was actually record voting that we had people sign up to register, and that was a great thing. So really big on voting, really big.
Awesome. Awesome.
Fantastic, man. Really. I like that.
So there are a couple of questions that came in, and I know the really big question that people of a certain age have when it comes down to talking to young people like yourselves is, how do we effectively connect with all of you? What's the best way to get you engaged in either conversations or events, and anything where we can kind of bridge the intergenerational gap? Because that seems to be a challenge when it comes down to bringing the community together. I'm sure the perceptions or the perspectives are that events are for the older generation, not necessarily for us. When things that are as important as voter registration drives and historical events and other offerings in the community are really intergenerational. And I think that we all can feel lifted whenever everyone is coming together. So what is the best way to appeal to your age group?
Well, I would say social media is a great way. So like what y'all are doing right now is a great way to reach our generation. Another good thing is like kind of the tried and true methods like unity marches, like just knocking on doors, or at ECU, it is an organization that comes out to our residence halls and they'll pass out voter registration slips, and that's how I was able to register to vote, and it's pretty effective. So I would say that's a good way. Those are good ways to reach our generation. And just to speak up, I think that's the biggest thing to reach us, because I mean, we're here and we listen. So as long as you can catch our attention with something, I don't know, but yeah.
If there's food, I'm sure we can get your attention. But also, there's so many different opportunities that exist in communities. I know in Horry County, there are several people who I call community icons who are always trying to figure out, how do we get the young people involved in some of the things that happen for the even younger populations over the summers, reading programs and mentoring programs. But just more importantly, I think it's time to, have that conversation across the generation so that we can figure out how to help you all move into, the future and what you all need to be mindful of, and also to show you that there's support out there for you. And so there's a couple of questions that have come in, and let's see. Here's one. Marjorie McIver, who's one of those community icons. Rich, I know college life is intense for those who are active in school life, but what plans do you have to involve the community into some of your programs?
We have a lot of new events that we're trying to involve the community. I know we go into the community at Eddy Lake Cemetery. I don't know if y'all know about that, but we've been more involved overly trying to clean that area, because a little history to Eddy Lake Cemetery is we found out recently that it is a slave cemetery that Horry County sewage is actually trying to cover up. If you look at that's garden, when it's not a garden at all, it's actually cemetery. As well as we are now trying to do a new thing. We're trying to go out to the community in Bucksport. Hopefully we can get that probably initialized and done, finalized, hopefully next week, which is we're trying to make food kits, because a lot of our students as well as community members have been saying how due to the government shutdown, they haven't been able to get food. So we're trying to figure out ways how to support that, as well as going to communities and asking for help as well.
Yeah, I'm going to throw this question out to ECU as well. Do you have any opportunities or plans to involve your surrounding community in some of your programs, or have you done that already?
Yes, we do a street cleanup and we involve the community in that as well. Also, many other orgs have been doing a lot of, they have been like volunteering at the soup kitchens and the food drives. There's a food drive going on right now that all the orgs, the BECU orgs are a part of, and they're doing canned drives and turkeys and things like that. So we try our best as much as possible to help the surrounding people within Greenville, which I am very proud that BECU does that in general, to make sure that we're giving back and helping each other and helping the community as well.
Okay, awesome.
On to what Siobhan said as well, we also have after school program at Welcome Middle School, which is enough said our middle school here in Greenville. as of right now, we have an art program with them. So after school for the kids, we have like art projects and like stuff like that for them to do, little activities for them to do after school.
That's excellent. I love that, incorporating the arts into the after-school programs. Priscilla Fuller asked, how do you get students to connect with the NAACP on your campus? Because I'll say this, there are NAACP branches in our hometown or in our home county, Horry County, one in Conway, one in Myrtle Beach, and I understand that there's no longer one, or there currently isn't one at CCU, but there's a need to get young people involved in the NAACP branches. So what's a good way to do that as far as connecting with y'all?
I would just like to say, connecting with the students on a personal level, if you know how we usually are, when you talk to a friend and y'all come from like the same space or like the same cultural backgrounds, y'all will laugh and joke about the things that happened to y'all growing up, and just find like funny things to talk about and how y'all can relate on certain things. So I feel like when you have these conversations with them now on campus, because everybody's tapped into their phone, social media, so the same thing I know that's going on, that's going on. So it's like, hey, you are another person of color, so am I. Have you seen this? Oh, I did see that. Oh, so what's going on? This can affect us like right now, right? So we might need to get on this together as a community, and then, you tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, and that we all sitting here in one big meeting talking about it right now.
That's excellent. Yeah, I like that. The making the connections, because those common threads, those common bonds are very important. And whatever you all decide to do as a career pathway, relationship building is going to be one of the primary things that will help you to be successful. If you know how to build relationships and find common ground with people, you can pretty much guarantee that they're going to support you in a lot of things. And even if they don't support you, at least that the conversations have happened and you know where each other's coming from, right, Brother Edward?
Absolutely. Yes. Before we get away, Rich, you mentioned the project that you all engaged in at the Lakes Cemetery out in Bucksport, right?
Yes, sir.
I just assumed that you're working with Kevin Mishu on that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he is the guy there that you probably want to work diligently with. I mean, you can get a lot of things accomplished. I'm sure you're doing a masterful job yourself, you and your group. But he has a lot. He can add some things to it if you like.
Okay.
Yes, he's gone through that once before as a cleanup project and finding tombstones on graves and stuff like that.
Okay.
He did a very good job at that 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah. And also Marjorie McIver mentioned Rich when you were speaking. She says, include me. So she can't wait to have a conversation with you. Saeja, since that's hometown, you may want to reach out to Ms. McIver. She definitely does not matter. She doesn't care about the distance. She will be able to support you all. And I'm sure, countless others who are watching tonight. There's one other question that I want to raise up, and here it is. And I think this is an extremely important question. How can our community support your efforts on campus? And it doesn't matter that you're at ECU and we're in South Carolina. That part doesn't matter. How can our community support your efforts?
Who's talking first?
It doesn't matter.
I would say showing up, but showing up is really not like the most important thing. I would say for me, yes, showing up is very important, but I would say sharing it, because the more people it reaches, the more people that are affected, and the more people that know, the more people that can come help. So It really brings us together, because showing up, that's you as one person, and that's great that we've made that connection. But you shared the 45 more people. Now that's 45 more people plus you showing up, and that's all of us making the connection to get something done.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Way to go.
What is your name?
Zayden Courtney.
You said Zayden Courtney?
Jaden, Courtney.
Jaden Courtney. Okay, I just want to know who this young man is going to be president one day. That's
yeah, you know.
Yes, because we've heard from Saeja and I think Siobhan, and so okay, that's all. That's what's up. What about you, Rich? How can our community support your efforts on campus?
Pretty much piggyback off of what Jaden said. I feel like he hit every mark kind of right on the head. As well as community, we open our doors during the meetings. We would definitely prefer community members to come in as well, voice their opinions, because we don't know how we can help, and as well as they can help us. I feel like that's kind of the biggest issue. A lot of community members don't know about it, but when they do, I feel like they do come in rather than give, they kind of just listen when we really need more of sharing, because someone way older knows way more knowledge than us, as well as we could give something like a trade that makes sense to help support.
It makes a lot of sense. So when you talk about, connecting with community, is there a best way to get in touch with you, Rich, or any member of ECU's NAACP, so that if there's somebody who's watching tonight and they want to come in and share or want to come in and show their support, they'll know how to do that? What's the best way for them to be in touch?
I would say for us, Instagram is a good medium. We also have an email. If we'll drop it in the chat, so
okay,
they can. But those are two very good ways to reach us, and also y'all can see what we're doing in real time through our Instagram. So that'll be a good way to contact us and for us to reach out with y'all and stuff like that.
All right, perfect. And who was speaking? What's your name?
Chris Lovick.
Okay, Chris. And so Chris is the secretary of the NAACP at ECU. Perfect. Any other suggestions from ECU before we move on to Rich?
I would say, y'all, it doesn't matter who you are. You can also drop your stuff in the chat too, and we'll meet you halfway. If you want to do like a project collaboration, love a great collaboration. So then we all can be in it together. We'll meet you halfway. We'll send an email to you, whatever helps the community and push the message. We are all for it.
Awesome.
All right.
Awesome. So yes, make sure that you all, either Jaden or Chris or someone over there, drop your information into the chat on any of the pages that has this live stream connected or posted. And those viewers who want to be in touch will certainly get in touch with you. Rich, can you tell us how can we be in touch with you?
Best way to be in touch with us as an org is our Instagram, of course, but my email, my Instagram as well. I have no problem giving that out. Please shoot me a DM. It takes you back. I'll send you my number if need be. I'm more kind of old school, prefer numbers than anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, email is a really big thing.
Awesome. Well, Brother Edward, I don't know about you, but I'm stoked about the future, because these young people already know what needs to be done in order to advocate for our communities and for themselves. And I believe that if they stay on the path that they're on, and they stay aware of what's going on in society as they move about their campuses, as they go into their career fields, they're going to make a difference. They're going to make a huge impact in our world. So
seems like they're getting good guidance from some place, because the strategies that they're using as a result of sort of material being taken away from them by CRT and all that kind of stuff, and something that they can't use dealing with Black culture. And you guys seem to be dealing with it. You're devising strategies. I mean, you're finding other means. I mean, that's you got to applaud yourself. You got to pat yourself on the back. Okay. You're thinking, and that's really critical thinking that you're doing, and I can't say enough good things about you, except that we just want you on here again. We want you on the program again, so you give us an update, right?
I know
what you guys are doing. Okay, we need that. The community needs that.
Mm-hmm. Brother Edward, I think that we can maybe pull together another one of our virtual community forums featuring some of these young leaders.
Absolutely.
And pose some questions from our communities, from the surrounding communities. So if you all are down for that, we can make that happen. And we just want to thank all of you for your time. I want to thank Chris Bellamy for bringing it to my attention and suggesting that Asia and the NAACP at ECU join us. It was truly wonderful to talk to all of you tonight and to hear from you. And if you will, don't forget to drop your information into the chat in any of the on any of the Facebook pages if you're on Facebook. If not, you can always email me the information and I'll drop it in. I know that I connect with Rich and Asia to get this set up. And so I'll be more than happy to share your information. But we're gonna actually Tiffany Hollis says she has a few more names. And Tiffany, a few more names to share. You have to send me some details. I don't know what you're talking about. Diane says, job well done, very good job. Yeah.
See, you guys didn't know we had an audience out there. Let's listen to you. They're clapping. Okay.
Oh, that would be great, Tiffany. Yes. So let's get. Tiffany is going to help us coordinate this, and so yeah, let's do a virtual community forum sometime soon, and we'll lock that in. So we're going to give you all a second before we close out to do some shout outs. So we'll start with Rich. Rich, you have anybody you want to shout out?
Biggest shout out, I want to shout out Dr. Tiffany Hollis. She just typed in there for helping me. Actually, little shout out, I forgot to mention it. We also do hip hop to the polls. She just had texted me. I forgot to mention that as well for community engagement. But big shout out to Dr. Hollis. That's really
awesome. All right. Okay. And then I see her comment here about the hip hop to the polls. We need to learn more about that. That needs to be a big deal in the area.
Yeah, they said they had a great turnout.
They did.
Okay. All right. ECU and NAACP, special shout outs.
Shout out to my papa. I love you. Shout out to because there's our e-board, two of our e-boards are right here. So shout out to Colden Walters and Antoine Smith, as well as, I'm not saying all their names, but our other members who are not here today as well in the NAACP.
Yeah, that's
anybody else there? The floor is open for shout out. Jaden, I know you have something to say.
It's not really a shout out. I just want to say all glory to God.
Oh, yes.
Amen.
Yes. Awesome. Chris?
What does the audience have to say about that, April?
Oh, Brother Edward, you just want me to use that. Let me see if I can find it.
The audience had a double clap.
Yeah, they had a double clap. Yeah. So it was such a pleasure to have you all with us. And let me tell you, these young people were extremely professional as I was connecting with them and we were trying to coordinate everything. They even were able to adjust their schedules, Brother Edward, to accommodate us because of the big election that we just had. And they were absolutely professional. So you all keep up the good work, keep representing, keep standing strong. And we just wish you all the best. And we definitely will have you back for a virtual community forum. We'll put it together and I'll work with Rich and Asia and Dr. Hollis and a few other people so that we can make this one of the biggest forums that we've ever had that connects the generations, a little intergenerational forum. Okay. But thank you all for joining us tonight. We really do appreciate it. And please remain safe. Reach out to us and let us know how we can support you in any of your efforts. All right. So thank you all so much.
Godspeed.
Yes.
Next time we get a chance to see your faces individually. So
I know. Well, this was a great first run, but Edward, this was an amazing show. We touched on salute to our veterans, and that particular salute and acknowledgement was a great segue into just the idea of talking about leadership, especially leadership now in America.
Absolutely.
And it's great that our young people are locked in and they're in tune to what's going on and they're mindful of all the things that will impact their lives in the future. So we owe it to them to help them out as much as possible. And I know that all of us who were listening and watching tonight are definitely in it for that reason. So
Let me just express some regrets that we weren't able to have Brenda Bankhead back on. We would have. I think the audience would have enjoyed what she had to say very, very much. So Brenda, we'll think of some way to get you back on again, some kind of way. She's been doing some wonderful things over in that Chesterfield area. And,
we can do a veteran spotlight another night and just have her on. She has some
not just with the veterans. She's been doing other things, and I'm so glad about it. So
well, all right. Well, next week we are going to have a wonderful conversation, and hopefully it will be an informative and empowering conversation as we talk about what is going on with the EBT and SNAP benefit.
Absolutely.
And so, even though we now know that there's some congressional movement to get everything back up and running, of course, that's going to come at a cost. We will have Kissy Melvin from the United Way of Horry County with us next week to talk about what has happened with the benefits, how it has impacted communities across Horry County. And we'll share information about local food drives and food distribution efforts so that everyone will be informed about where to get some supplemental items should they need that extra assistance until everything kind of kicks in, and even after everything kicks in. So please join us next week. And we certainly appreciate all of the support, and keep those comments coming. Let us know if there's some topics that you would like for us to cover. This is how we create WCM Live.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So someone just calling up saying, "Hey, I think it would be good to feature this and feature that." So please, if you have topics for us, it makes our lives a lot easier. If we know what you want to hear about, get in touch with me or Brother Edward, and we will certainly work it out. So to all of our viewers and listeners, thank you so much for watching tonight. And to all of the supporters, and Brother Edward, anything you want to say before we roll out?
Want to say, I'm just glad for the way it turned out. I'm always excited about our youth. Okay.
Yes.
That's our next generation. We got to look up for, come hell or high water. So, and I'm just applauding you and everybody else who we're all about participation and so forth. So,
this is one way the village can show up. Let them know that they are heard and that they are seen. This is one way to do it.
And we definitely got to keep in touch with them. I mean, we're gonna,
I agree.
We're gonna make that forum, virtual forum, a reality.
Yeah, I love it. Let's make it happen. So look, stay warm. I don't know how I heard about the snow in Horry County last night. It was just like 80 degrees over the weekend, and then there was snow in North Conway, I think Carolina Forest, all through Hartsville, Florence, Cheraw. I was shocked to find out that there were snow flurries and that kind of thing. But hey, it's a sign of the times.
It's a sign of the times. Okay, we were warned about it by some people, but nobody wants to hear about that. So
that's a whole another show. There you go.
Anyway, it's prophesied. But anyway, good April. Great show, and your resourcefulness is valuable.
Thank you.
So until what we have on the agenda coming, hopefully, and I think it's solidified. November is Diabetes Awareness Month, and I think it hadn't been solidified yet, but he's gonna wants to come on to talk about diabetes awareness, and on the November 25th broadcast. So let's look forward to that. Okay.
That sounds really good. All right. All right. Well, everyone have a great night, and stay safe, and we will see you next week.
Sorry to our viewers, sorry to keep you so late, but I know it was worth it. Right.
Absolutely.
It was worth it.
All right, everyone.
Thanks.
Take care.
I'll see you next.
Thank you for watching the World Community Magazine's Hour of Power Live on Facebook.